A very good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. Balamurali Mohan, the coordinator for this Pharma Converse webinar series. It's my honor to welcome you all for today's webinar on the topic Importance of Operational Excellence in Pharma Organization. Firstly, I should thank and appreciate all the participants who are joining in our webinars from all over the country. With that continuous support, we have successfully completed 7 webinars till now, and now we are entering into the 8th webinar. Without any delay, I would like to invite our respected principal, Dr. K.S. Murali Krishna sir, to start the session with a keynote address. Sir, principal sir, your mic is in mute. Okay. Our principal sir will join within a few minutes. Meanwhile, so today we are having our guest speaker, Vinay D. Joshi, who is an operational excellence consultant in Pune. Now, I request Dr. Nalini Kanta Sahu sir, our webinar series organizing secretary, to introduce the guest speaker to all the participants.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. S. Balamurali Mohan. And we are happy that we are able to conduct today the 8th webinar series with eminent speaker Dr. Binay D. Joshi sir, and who is an operational excellence consultant working in Pune. Welcome, sir, to this webinar series,
Thank you.
and thanks for accepting our invitation. So
Thanks.
I'd like to yes, it is my pleasure to introduce our eminent speaker today, Binay Joshi sir, who is working with his own consultancy in operational excellence at Hyderabad and Pune, India. He is a competent, proven track record and result driven professional having 29 years of pharmaceutical manufacturing experience in startup, turnaround and successful growth of highly reputed organizations. Adept in translation vision into action to achieve increased productivity, operational efficiency, sustainable cost reductions, inventory control, and net earnings while contributing to support critical business operations within highly competent industries. Consistently delivered superior quality products, productivity efficiency strategies, and fruitful supply chain solutions. He has an extensive experience in formulation operations, which includes establishment of facility, applying the scientific principles in manufacturing process, qualification of equipment, validation of process. He is instrumental in aligning the quality and compliance expectations in designing and implementations of manufacturing operations. Last assignment was Dr. Reddy's from 5.5 years, and he was working there as a senior director and head of operational excellence, leading a team of CI across all formulation and API unit of Dr. Reddy's. He has hands-on experience in manufacturing and packaging of pharmaceuticals for about 29 years and has worked in reputed pharmaceutical companies like eMerck India, GSK India, Zydus Cadila, and he is a certified black belt and qualified MBB in Lean and Six Sigma. Vinay holds a postgraduate degree in pharmacy from Nagpur University, and he has done his postgraduate in management certification from Indira Gandhi National Open University. He is a global qualified trainer for Lean Sigma and for design and experiments. So appreciated, he was appreciated to his achievement. He was appreciated by GSK CEO for his CSR project on product A in 2009. He has achieved savings of rupees of 2000 crores, at last two employers in the past global manufacturing supplies. And he was certified 20 black belts, 35 350 green belts, 700 yellow belt, and 1000 white belt in last 4 years. And he has participated and won awards like IMEA Economic Times Award, CII Excellence Award. And with this brief introduction, I'd like to invite our eminent speaker, Sri Binay Joshi sir, to take over the session and continue his session. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Sau, for a nice introduction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Vinay, sir, you can
Yes.
start your screen sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything is
Shall I
fine. You
start
can
now?
start your presentation.
Yeah. Principal sir, is he come back or he is back?
You please continue, sir. He's having some internet issue.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to this session of operational excellence in pharma organization. So, hope you must be having something very new subject, which is not very routine in your college, and this may be helpful you when you go to the industry, particularly those who are willing to go for manufacturing or quality or something which are in operation. So in pharma industry, when you join, you come to know a lot of challenges in operations, and that to how to take care of that challenges.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Sorry, sir. You please continue, sir.
Yeah. So how to take challenges through this methodology, which is called operational excellence, and this is a worldwide proven methodology, which is adopted initially by Toyota and GE Motorola, and they have got a lot of benefits from this methodology, and that is why this operational excellence has started gearing up in the decade of 1990 to 2000, and 2000 onwards it has grown very fast across the globe, and many pharma industry across the globe already implemented this. In our India, last 5 to 7 years it is gearing up, and many people in the Indian industry of pharma going for it and implementing it, and they got the success as well as they got the essence of how it is implemented to get the business in growth purpose. So having brief about this is what operational excellence means. Before starting session, I will tell. I think all the questions, whatever it comes in your mind, you can type, right, Bala? They can type the questions in the session box, or they will at the end of the session only they can ask question.
Yes, sir. Attendees will give the questions in question box. After your presentation, I will read out all those questions for you.
Yeah. So you can do that whenever you get the questions. Immediately you can type and send, so that at the end of the session we will throw lights on your questions.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sure.
yeah, and this operational excellence is giving all pharma industry not only for the cost saving plus quality and improving the compliance. Particularly today's situation, a lot of compliance issues in India and surrounding countries are having. You name the FDAs like US FDA or any other regulatories across the world, they comes and lot of observations in the form of 483 comes, and people get problems in their operations, and because of which business gets slowed down. And that is why this methodology is proven in improving the quality as well as the all regulatory issues, and also in the manufacturing. Of course, it is main tool for improving the productivity through cost savings, and that is why many of the pharma CEOs and top people are going for it now, and they realize the benefit of this. Now I will go by slide wise now. My team is called as Cognopex, which is a small consultant company located in Hyderabad and Pune. The team Cognopex strongly believes that organization success is primarily driven by the people, and that is why the three aspects: strategy, operation, and design excellence is very, very important. And because it is driven by people, all the people who are coming in this area of pharma, they must aware of this, and that is one of the steps to get you acquainted with this pharma operational excellence. Okay. There are operational excellence foundation include physical workplace, elimination of waste, then man, method, material, machines, efficiency improvement, and some of the simple basic tools like 5S, safety, and the objective of this operational excellence is to get rid of inefficiencies, stress, and variations. So once you get it into this, a lot of issues at the day-to-day floor, shop floor issues will be resolved with this methodology, and that is why nowadays this has become very popular. Although Toyota has started with the lean methodology, and GE and Motorola started with Six Sigma. So what agenda we will be discussing it today is the reasons to approach in necessary, defining operational excellence means what, explain the foundation of operational excellence, management system and its implication, and describe the steps in implementing an OEMs. So what you can see on the screen to now is the operational excellence, which is called OE in short form, which you can see in the three circles, which are three circles which are having first topmost is a customer. So normally whenever you are doing the product or whenever you are giving any service, like college is also one sort of education service which you get. So customers are you people, that is the students. Similarly for organization, when pharma organization manufacturing any product, the customer is who is buying that product is bought by somebody. Sometimes we are also buying the from chemist, and that is why the customer is the very important who is giving revenue to the organization, and that is why the top circle is the customer. Culture is nothing but the values and leadership quality of the organization which are driving this manufacturing. And for this, the culture, normally people say that organization is having X culture, the other organization having Y culture. So culture is nothing but their values and leadership. So leadership values what they give, accordingly the business runs. So some may be interested in quality improvement, some may be in productivity, some may be both, some may be interested in going to the across the world for all regulators, some may be interested only to the Indian market. So according to the cultures and values of the leadership which organization has developed, the culture is developed. And the tools is nothing but what we are going to see in coming slides, is nothing but the Lean and Six Sigma, which is giving the operational excellence as the basic tools for your improvements. So you just remember that operational excellence is nothing but the improvement, And improvement can be done with the help of the two pillars. One is lean and the second one is the Six Sigma. Both, what is meant by that, we'll see in the coming slides. So as this circle grows and as the operational excellence organization wise spread, the triangle, the interaction between the three circles become more bigger. And when you can say every organization is having complete operational excellence is when the circle are colliding each other. So they are mapping exactly. Then that time you can say operational excellence is implemented in organization fully. Till that time, the three circles intersection, which is written as Lean Sigma, that portion is the where the organization has developed the operational excellence improvement program, and that is what's shown in the circles. The operational excellence is more important than ever customer demand. Traditional approach are not achieving expected results. So traditionally, what was happening was the people based on the tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge means your historical knowledge. So historical knowledge, people says that I know this, I can repair this, I can improve this, I can do the project on this, so that productivity will improve or quality will be improved, or something for the service level improvement. So all these are nothing but the traditional approaches. So based on your personal tradition knowledge, people start implementing it. So that is what called the traditional approaches. The leadership engagement is often blamed. Many times it is happened that because of the traditional approaches and because of the some or other form which are not very systematic, the leadership is blamed that after bringing this also there is no improvement. And that is why the operational excellence is very important, because it is very systematic way. It will not fail. A different culprit is to blame. And in this, if the operational excellence is not implemented, the culprit will be blaming purpose. So blaming one or other department. So that is why the new approach with the help of the operational excellence will give you the good culture in the organization. So if you refer to the industry, the history, pre-industrial age, individual productivity was very important, dominated by variable cost. I hope everybody understand variable and fixed cost, but still I will explain. So variable cost is one which is like electricity, water, or your salary, which is not fixed, which is a variable as per the market index. So that is called a variable cost for industry. And fixed cost is one which is already you buy and your, so all the buildings what you have constructed, all the machineries, that comes under fixed cost, which is now already you spend, and that becomes a fixed cost for that organization. So the variable cost is earlier dominated by individual productivity, and that is why the cost volume ratio you can see in the straight line forward. Pre-industrial age, industrial age, economies of sales dominated by fixed cost. So people were going for the new technologies, people were going for the latest machineries, and wanted to do more and more advanced products, so that in the market of Indian and across the globe it can be sold. So that is why it is dominated by fixed cost. But post-industrial, which is now after this, is dominated by complexity cost. So neither by fixed cost or nor by variable cost, which is also part, but there are complexity costs, because of which the cost is not so simple calculation. So for example, if you are having the regulatory issues, the cost will change, your production will come down, your quality issues will be there, and if it is the issues of rejection cost will be there, and if the issues is more, then your goodwill in the market will go, and there will be another cost, which is you are losing the market. So there are many costs which is dominated by complexity, and because of the current situations and because of the competition across the world, different pharma industries are coming up, new players are coming up. So this is dominated by complexity cost. And that is why to handle this, it is very important to have very good, you can say, systematic approach to get the operational excellence, which is nothing but the improvements. So in the coming slide, what you can see is the vicious complexity cycle. So for example, complexity increases. Why it increases? Poor execution. Poor execution means, for example, you know a lot of theoretical concept now, and when this theoretical concepts goes in your mind, and when you are having the knowledge, when you go into the industry, you will start implementing that knowledge into the practice. So say similarly, the poor execution means all the documents are prepared to prepare a batch or prepare a solution or whatever may be that poor execution, if that properly is not understood and execution is not right, then there will be rejection or there will be issues in the batches. So that is called the poor execution. Loss of process control. So once a lot of machineries are there, the batch pass through different machineries, the loss of process control maybe if the automation and digitization, which is currently very important, if it is not there and we do not control the machines, then the process control will be less and the rejection will be more. So that is also one of the problem. Then poor business results. Now, if the business results, if the marketing is not performing properly and the demand is not getting, then manufacturing people cannot do anything. But demand is important to match so that your organization grows and the profit grows. So good results of the business is also very important by selling your product maximum to the different countries. And the more and more people and processes. So how the people understand these processes and how they are the most important asset for implementing the good results and also the growth of the organization. So their knowledge and their implementation is very important. That is why the people are the most important assets. So all these put together use a complexity, and that complexity is called the complexity cost. Also it is increases. So that is why very important to understand that how this we will overcome with the help of the operational excellence, which is nothing but the important tool for the improvement in industry. So traditional approach is, there are two types of what we can say things. One is the value added and the other one is the non-value added. Value added means one which is giving value to the product. One which is not giving value to the product is called a non-value added. So for example, if you undergo some theoretical concepts of granulation, compression, coating in the pharma, so many times the compression takes few hours, but to prepare for the compression and for shifting material and all, this takes a lot of time, which is non-value added. But actual when tablet is formed, which is actually value added. Same way granulation, when the granulator is mixing and the granulation time may be 30 minutes or 40 minutes, that is actually value adding. But to prepare for that, lot of things you have to bring the materials, you have to shift the materials, you have to set the machine. All these are nothing but the non-value added from the customer point of view. Why it is non-value added? Because it is not giving product value. It is you are thinking that, and that is why the granulation will take place. Once you do all this activity, then actual granulation will happen, and which is giving the granules is the compressibility will be improved because of the granules, and that is what value adding is. So one has to understand the value added and non-value added. So value added is very important. Non-value added has to be reduced. That is what the lean thinking, which is operational excellence. So there are, when you start implementing the operational excellence in pharma industry, there are two types of approach. One is bottom up and one is the top down approach. So bottom up means all the operators and supervisors which are actually on the shop floors, they start improving, and then it goes to the top level. That is a bottom up. And sometimes it is the top down, which is nothing but the directors and board of directors decide this organization will go for the operational excellence, and then they give the program how the operational excellence across the organization, across the site, it has to be implemented, and that is called the top down approach. So according to that, their framework, you people has to follow when you are joining the industry. So that is what they call the top down approach. So having done this introduction to the operational excellence, we will see the actual definition of the operational excellence. So defining operational excellence is often overlooked first step. So leadership alignment is very, very important. Then employee understanding is also important. So all the employees of the company must understand what is going on, and their roles and responsibilities should be very clear what they have to do. And also increase commitment. This is very, very important. So everybody should commit to improve. And if that improvement happens, everybody is committed for the program what management is given, then the improvement will take place and the growth of the company will increase. And that is why very important to understand leadership alignment as well as individual role alignment. So that's two important things when you go for the operational excellence. So by definition, operational excellence is a philosophy of leadership, teamwork, and problem solving, resulting in continuous improvement throughout the organization by focusing on the needs of the customer, empowering employees, and optimizing existing activities in the process. So what is mean by this? There are a lot of complicated words. So it is a simple word. It is mean that the improvement should happen continuously. You should not stop any time. The improvement in organization goes on continuously. And while doing this improvement, you must empower your employee. It's not that the group of few people will do the improvement. No, it's a complete organization people will be part of that. And then empowering them. Empowering them means giving them improvement chance. So that is what this definition says. Operational excellence is the what the organization is the customer needs. So where the customer is satisfied, that needs you have to satisfy. Hope everybody is getting what I am saying, although we cannot interact, but you can put your questions, and if you are not understood anything, we can go back to the slide last 15 minutes. So coming to the operational excellence principles, there are 5 principles. One is specify values in the eyes of customer. So what is required? What improvement is required? So customer needs what? So for example, customer needs product at less price. So that is what his need. Or product with maximum effect in less time. That is what his need. So accordingly, the product has to be designed, and accordingly it is executed for manufacturing. That is what the value in the eyes of customer. Then waste and variation elimination. So waste means there are 8 types of waste which we'll see in the coming slide. These waste has to be reduced. And variation means what? So you know that variation is always there in machineries, in everything processes. So variation means you must know the standard deviation which you are taught in school days. So standard deviation says that from the center your points are varying, and because of that distance from the your mean to the different points is measurement is called the standard deviation, and measurement of the standard deviation is nothing but the variation. So variation is gives you rejection. So for example, if your product has designed to get 100% yield and 100% assay, so all the time your active ingredient should be 100%, but it never happens. So many times assay comes 98%, 96%, 99%. So that variation happens because of the n number of factors, which can be because of the machine, because of the operator man, or because of the material variation, or because of the atmospheric condition. All this will contribute to the variation. So variation is the key word in the pharma, which is actually giving the quality issues. And to reduce the quality issue, the variation is the good tool, which is depicted by Six Sigma. So first company to show Six Sigma is Mumbai Dabbawala, who has given the Six Sigma for their service, and they deliver absolutely without any error, and that is what the reduction in the variation. So right dabba to the right person. Same way, what we expect in pharma is the variation should be minimum. Whatever your theoretical values are there, you should be around that, and then the rejection will be less, market complaints should be less, and the issues of the regulators will be less. That is why variation is very important. Make flow at the pool of customers. So don't pile up the inventories. You may make the inventories less. Like Toyota has shown to the world that inventory has to be minimum, so that your dead investment or the cost in the inventory will be less. So whenever the customer needs, that time only you produce. Unnecessarily don't pile up your all the warehouses. So that is what the third point. And involve and around empower the employee. Just now I described you. So it should be across the organization. Everybody should be involved in the improvement and continuously. And you should not stop this. Once you achieve something Six Sigma point of view, if you achieve 2 Sigma, 3 Sigma, or for the 4 Sigma, so there should not be stoppage. Continuously improvement has to be done. That is what the 5 principles says in operational excellence. So operational excellence is the execution of the business strategy more consistently and reliably. And there are strategy like product portfolio, market, distribution. So this operational excellence is applicable right from raw material procurement to the marketing, where the product is sold. So all this comes in the operational excellence. So everywhere you have to do the excellence. So in simple word, operational excellence means nothing but all the operations happening in the pharma industry, either in the site or into the field where the marketing is happening. So you have to excel in this activity, that is called the operational excellence. So excelling means you are the best in the industry, and once you achieve the excel, then your profit margin goes up. And the right side, what we can say is that safety, environment, compliance, quality, productivity, yield, cost will be improved, and that is why the operational excellence is very, very important. So strategy into operational excellence will give the performance, and that operational excellence performance will lift the organization with the growth as well as the profit margin, and then individual automatically growth will happen if the company's growth is happening. So plan, do, check activity is nothing but which Kaizen people tells. Planning for the goal, what is your target, then translate into execution that target, and then management review happens once the audit metrics and all is measured, and then management will review whether it is improved or not. That is what the PDCA cycle, which is given by Kaizen people, which is followed when you start implementing the operational excellence. So size of the process steps. For example, one example I will take: identify gaps in operational excellence implemented, benchmark excellence. So take the benchmark, what is the best benchmark, and assess the current state versus the element, and list the systematic breakdowns that are causing failures. So for example, your machine downtime is having best industrial benchmark of 2% or 3%. You take that is, and if your breakdowns are more, try to reduce to 3% so that your profit margin will go up with the increased availability of the machine. So that is what the process has to be followed when you are doing the operational excellence implementation. So this we have seen. So now coming to the out of Lean and Six Sigma 2 tools, we'll go first for the Lean. So there are waste, hidden waste. So hidden waste is like a Titanic. You must have seen the Titanic, where the under the water there is a lot of huge iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg can be seen only to the ship person, and that is why the collision happens. Similarly, in an organization, you get a lot of wastages which is not reported, and then a lot of things comes in reducing the profit, and because of that, the waste reduction is very important, which is out of the operational excellence. One tool which is I have shown is the Lean, and the Lean implementation by Toyota has described this all wastages how to reduce. So for some examples are untrained workers, non-standardized process, low yield, poor maintenance, idle machine time, etc. All are nothing but the poor wastages happening. So coming to our 8 wastages, there are total 8 wastages. The first wastage is poor production. So as I told you earlier on the slide, that inventory is piled up. If it is not required by customer, you are just producing. And to reduce that inventory level, overproduction is one of the key. So when there is a demand, then only you can produce. If the demand is not there and demand is X, and beyond that X, if you are producing 20%, 30% more, that is nothing but the overproduction. Some people does this because to use the resources available, but while doing these resources available, you are also investing money, which is that investment, and which is in the form of inventory, and that is why overproduction is very important from the reducing the inventories. So both are interlinked. Waiting is nothing but when the machine is waiting for mechanic, or when the machines are working, some material is not available, then waiting period is happening. If the quality control lab is not releasing the batch, then waiting is happening at the manufacturing level. So all waitings are nothing but the waste, which is also where earlier slide I have shown as non-value added activities. So NVA is related to the waiting. So in Indian pharma, there is a lot of waiting and scope to reduce that waiting period, which is reduce the NVA, which is non-value added activity. So all waitings are non-value added activities, and because of that waiting, your cycle time is increasing in days for the product manufacturing, and that can be reduced. For example, if cycle time is 5 days or 7 days, out of which 2 to 3 days are going in waiting period, and that waiting period, if we reduce, it will come to the 4 days. So moment you come to the less number of days, you are more flexible, and you can do the more batches, and automatically productivity can be increased. So this waiting is very important factor from the Indian point of view. A lot of waitings are happening at our shop floor level. Then transportation is moving raw materials from one place to another. So if your design is not proper, layout is not proper for pharma industry, then lot of raw materials and materials movement will take time, and as well as safety issue. So your warehouse should be centrally located, and the minimum time should be gone in transporting. So this transportation waste can be reduced by proper designing. Then over processing. Over processing means sometimes you are doing double documentation, sometimes you are doing same step again repeating. So this all is nothing but our approval process is very lengthy. So all these are nothing but the over processing, because of which cycle time is increasing and which is non-value added activity. So over processing has to be reduced. Then inventory, which is I explained in overproduction. So inventory can be because of the overproduction, or inventory can be when supply chain people discuss with the raw material suppliers and some other suppliers, and they buy in bulk, and while buying in bulk they get some discount, but at the same time they are making the inventory more. Your warehouses will be piled, one material which is not required will be more, and one which is required will not have the storage space. So inventories are very bad, and inventory should be minimum, and whatever you require, that much only for the 8 days, 15 days, or 1 month maximum. Inventory stock should be there. That is what this concept is. Defects. Defects are nothing but the rejection produce. So it can be sometimes produced on the machine. If the setting is not proper, or if the raw material issues are there, then some soft tablet or some rejection happens. That rejection is nothing but the defects. Sometimes batch can be defected because of the poor quality, and quality assurance will reject the batch also sometimes if something is not meeting the parameters. That is also called the scrap. And rework, sometimes you have to do rework and then pass the batch. So all these are nothing but the comes under defects. Then motion related to people. So one person moving from one place to another place, particularly in lab, for something different things he has to collect, and he has to go for the analysis. So he travels lot of distance in a day, maybe 3 to 4 kilometers in lab, and that is giving him unnecessary movement. If everything systematic plan 5 years is there, everything is near to his workbench, then he need not have to travel. The last waste is intellectual. Intellectual waste is nothing but the whatever the intellectual property, that is what the people in the organization are having. Sometimes right people are not put on the right job, and then the efficiency will be reduced. The interest what he is having, you must put in that area, so that the right person will get the right job, and the efficiency will be improved, and he will also be get motivated. That is what the intellectual. And sometimes you don't know your own skills. You may be having more skills. If you are not utilizing that, that is also intellectual waste. So value added, non-value added, initially it is more, and wastages are there. Once you work with operational excellence, it will be reduced, and greener portion will become more, and then wastages will be less, and the productivity will be improved, and automatically the organization will get profit and growth. So these are the 8 wastages: transportation, inventory, motion, waiting. How to remember with the T mode. So this waste in pharma industry is very important. Why I am telling? Because this pharma industry is having a lot of challenges with regulatory, as I told you, and to overcome this, the Six Sigma tool will give you very important handhold, so that you can deal with this all challenges regulatories. And nowadays people are in the pharma industry, regulators, USFDA are measuring in terms of CPK and PPK value, which is process capability. Process capability, how much was the last time and how much is now. They are just comparing, and based on that they are deciding how much is the visit, or how much is the inspection level has to be done on that plant. And if the issues are more like incidents, market complaints, batch rejection, or more, then they go deep, and then the problems comes. And that is what the important is Six Sigma tool, which is nothing but the variation, which I told you. The reduction in variation is nothing but the Six Sigma. And for those who are very interested in Six Sigma, there is a bell-shaped curve which gives you the Six Sigma curve, which is called the how much is your variation across the curve. And if that variation is very less, then curve will be narrow and tall. And if the variation is more, then it is curve may be your broad and small. So that is what the Six Sigma curves. And one company who has implemented in India Six Sigma is a Mumbai Dabawala. Now all the pharma companies are also going for it, and they wanted Six Sigma implementation as well as this wastage reduction. Both together will give operational excellence benefits. In the left hand side of this slide, you can see the Muda Mura Muri, which is nothing but the Muda means non-value-added activity, Mura means unbalanced situation, which is a Mura means nothing but the inconsistencies or the variations. Is nothing but the Mura, and Muri means overdoing and overburden. So physical exertion is more. So these three concepts were shown by Kaizen. So Kaizen has given these three concepts, which is also nowadays industry they are following it. So there are three things I told you. One is Lean given by Toyota, Six Sigma given by GE and Motorola, and this Muda Mura Muri concept given by Kaizen. So these are the important tools for the operational excellence, and we implement these tools to improve the productivity as well as quality and the growth of the organization. And when we implement operational excellence, it is right from the raw material purchase till the sale of the products. So we take care of all raw material with supply chains excellence. Then in manufacturing, what I just now described you, and engineering, we take the engineering excellence, so best of the engineering practices, which comes under operational excellence, which is also giving some energy savings and benefit to the organization. And also at the marketing level, to have the more people buying the product with top in the market for selling purpose. And once we match the demand versus actual, then profit margin goes up, and you become the leader in that product. So that is what this operational excellence gives. And operational excellence is tool which gives top people very healthy results, and they look for this. And that is why many top people like CEO, CFO, they are going for it now with the help of some operational excellence expert. Either you create at this your organization level, or through some consultant, it is getting implemented. This concept is implemented in industry very well, but also in the service industry like air industry and other industry, it is implemented and benefits are a lot got. You can implement in education system also. Wherever there is a wastage is happening, you can reduce the wastages. So that is what this means, the operational excellence. And this completes my session with the slides, whatever I have shown. I will give now the time for your question answer, so that you can come back with some good questions which can answer. Is it right, Bala, now?
Yes, sir.
I hope I have completed it within time, so that the people will get the question answer time also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, attendees, our speaker has completed his lecture. So, if you are having any questions, please write in the question box. Our guest is ready to answer all your questions. Yes, Rahul sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There are no questions till now. If you have any questions, you can ask our guest.
Yeah. You and your all the teaching staff also, if you have any questions, please.
Yes, sir. I have a question actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, this can means as you have said, it was a very nice talk, sir. Actually, and whoever
Thank
who
you.
are going to plan means to work in industries, so for them it will be very much useful. So if they will follow all these principles, whatever you have said, sir, so
Yeah, I will
definitely
share
they,
the PDF of this presentation also so that they can use that.
yeah, sir. It will be very useful, sir, for the people who are going to means students actually who are planning to work in
Yeah.
industries. So it will be very useful, sir. And overall, I think you have told also this quality improvement, how to improve the quality. The main objective is to improve the quality. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So it is about, sir, my question is that it is about only implemented, it can be implemented all these principles in means your manufacturing, or we can still implement in your research sections and any other pharma
Actually,
sector.
it starts with research.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so in Six Sigma, what I told you is there are two
Yes, sir.
methodologies. One is called the DMAC and other one is the DFSS. DMAC
Okay,
is the define, measure, analyze, implement, and improve.
okay.
Control, sorry, improvement and control. So that
Yes, sir.
DMAC methodology is in manufacturing they adopt. And DFSS, which is called Design for Six Sigma. So while designing your product, if you follow the Six Sigma concept with proper design of experiments and multivariate analysis done, your product will have minimum defects when it goes to the shop floor, and there will not be troubleshooting and there will not be problems, and even market
Okay,
conference will be less. So in
okay,
R&D, if it is implemented Six Sigma, it is nothing like that. People are started now using in R&D. They are getting lot of good benefits with DOE implementation. That is what in my CV also you must have seen DOE.
yeah,
The
yeah,
design of
yeah.
field
DOE.
is is a big tool for Six Sigma, which is a separate field for having knowledge on that, and that can be implemented in research.
Okay. So, sir, that DOE actually that is design of equipments, na, sir?
Experiment.
Okay,
So,
design of experiments. Okay.
for
So that
example,
design of, yeah, sir, the design of experiment, I think it will need the usage of all these biostatistical tools. I expect.
yes,
Oh,
statistical theory
okay,
you have to use it.
statistical tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
all these tools. So one of the big tool is the multivariate analysis. So for
okay,
example,
MB.
if your product is having process where there
Okay.
are these different temperature, pressure, vacuum, all these are the input
Okay.
parameters, right? For
Okay.
example,
Okay.
process is fluid by drying or something is happening. These are the different input pressure. Now,
Okay.
you know that some combination of these three will work very good for that product. Now, how
Okay.
to arrive that combination? Which is the best
Okay.
temperature? Which is the best vacuum? Which is the best pressure? That
Okay.
will be given by the design of experiment, and you will get the
Okay.
exact reading, and they
Okay.
will it will tell you if this you operate in this range, you will get the best product.
Okay, okay. Sir, and one more thing, sir. When you are applying this DOE, you are saying that we can achieve good quality products. Okay.
Yes,
So, is there
yes.
any parameter set in the DOE means, tool? We can say that it is a quality product.
So, for example, DOE
Okay.
actually designed for Six Sigma. It is the aim for the Six Sigma so that your errors will be less and variation will be less. So for
Okay.
example, temperature is set in the range of 70 to 75. So you
Okay.
should be very precise in setting 70 to 75. Once you set
Okay.
in that
Okay.
range,
Okay.
the final yield of the product will be very good. But if
Okay.
your temperature is shooting by 10 degree, 15 degree, then the product will not give that results. That is why the design
Okay.
of
Okay.
experiment says that it depends on multivariate analysis, and there
Okay.
are different types of experiments you have to do with the
Okay.
combination first. And once that
Okay.
experiment is done at R&D level,
Like
then
sir,
finally you
this
can.
principal component analysis, all these we can apply.
Yes.
PCA and this what is that, orthogonal PLS studies, all these I think so.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
can
have
apply.
little bit knowledge actually, so that
Yeah,
is why
yeah,
I'm
you can
asking,
apply.
sir. This
Yeah,
design
you
of
can apply.
experiments.
You can apply
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And sir, is there any confidential limit we have to fix in that?
Yes, once you, that is what I said, range. Similarly,
Okay.
for example, it will give the final product yield, how much lower specification, upper specification, how much
Okay.
is the SA level, SA level, how much will be the impurities level, minimum and maximum. So that all
Okay.
will be given by design of experiment.
Okay. Okay. And obviously there will be some impurities will be there, but
Yes.
some permissible limit should be there. Correct,
Yeah,
na,
yeah,
sir?
that is what lower specification and upper specification.
Upper
For example,
specification.
yeah, for example, point 2 is a lower specification, point 6 is the upper specification. Your impurity should be between point 2 and 0.6%, so that
Yes, sir.
it will not be problematic.
Okay, okay. Sir, and is there we are using any means software like DOE? Obviously, it will be we have to use some software. So what
Yeah,
are the
software.
software, sir, we are using for this DOE application of DOE?
So DOE, there are separate software which is called the Prism. DOE
Okay,
software, his name is also DOE software. So a lot of
okay,
software
DOE.
is in India also developed now. India has
Okay,
also, if
okay,
you Google a lot of software, you will find. But for a
okay,
statistical entire analysis of Six Sigma, it is
okay, okay,
either Minitab or Statistica. Worldwide
okay.
pharma companies are using. So
Statistica.
Minitab,
Yeah.
Statistica or Minitab.
Minitab. Okay, okay, sir.
So these two are the best one to use
Okay.
across the yeah. So global
And sir,
people are
this
looking.
DOE and this DOE software we can apply in any kind of research
Yes,
outcomes.
yes. But if you
Generally, we
take
have to apply. Yeah, please, sir.
if you take the DOE and sorry Statistica and Minitab, it is having
Okay,
inbuilt DOE also. So you need not have to
okay,
go for it. But
okay,
if you take only DOE, it is only DOE related. If you take
okay,
the entire statistical software, entire package, then everything will be there inside.
okay, okay. Okay, sir. This is my some clarification I want to have because I have interest in this DOE actually, design of
Yeah, yeah,
experiments. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you,
You can
sir.
have.
Thank you for your answers on these.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Anyone other questions have come, Mala? No.
No, sir. There are no questions.
Okay.
So, Sahu, sir, I think we can go with the vote of thanks.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. S. Balamurali Mohan. Okay, and first of all, I'd like to thank our management for giving this platform for the participants, for the for all of us to learn all these things by introducing eminent speakers like Binay Joshi sir. And I'd like to thank our principal sir, respected principal sir, but unfortunately due to some internet issues he could not join, but sir is always with us and always provoking us to go for
Yeah.
all these kind of scientific sessions and technical sessions which are going to be useful for all the participants. So thank you
Mm.
for that. Thank you, sir, for that. And I'll like to thank our respected speaker today, sir, Sri Binay Joshi, sir, who has accepted my means our invitation and who has spared his valuable time with this informative talk. So thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting
Thank you.
and
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Most welcome.
joining with
Yeah.
us, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome.
And
Yeah.
next, I
And,
like to thank yes, sir. And I like to thank our coordinator, Dr. S. Balamurali Mohan, who is working hard to make this program successful, and with the overwhelming response of the participants, we are able to reach to this 8th webinar series. So thanks all the participants who are with us continuously from beginning of this webinar series. So next, I like to thank our Almighty, because of whom we are in safe conditions and we are able to listen
Yeah.
these kind of talks. And finally, I'll be concluding with one quote, that life is what happens when you are busy making other plans. This is a saying by John Lennon. So
Oh.
with that, I'll like to wind up today, and I hand over to our coordinator, Dr. S. Balamurali Mohan, to give further information for next webinar series, which is going to be on 19th. So thank you for that. Please, Dr. Balamurali Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. First of all, thank you, Vinay, sir, for the wonderful presentation. I hope all the participants have learned something about this operational excellence, especially related to our field. So thank you so much for that. And my dear participants, so a small announcement. Feedback link for this session, for this webinar, is open already. So you can give your feedback by following the feedback link, which was sent already to your mails. And the next webinar is going to be conducted on Wednesday, that is 19th, day after tomorrow, on the topic role of pharmacists in preventing drug abuse. So this is the topic of our next webinar, which is going to be conducted on 19th of August, that is Wednesday, day after tomorrow. I hope every one of you will participate for that webinar also, and make our program success. So thank you one and all. With this, we'll wind up this webinar session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bala. I will send
Sir?
you the PDF copy. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
please share the
Yeah.
copy. It will be very much useful, sir.
Yeah, and
So,
you can
sir,
come
thank you.
back any special topic you want. I can give that. No problem. Anytime you can ask. Okay.
Yes, sir,
Thank
and
you.
I will be happy to hear you in future also.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting
sir.
and
Thank you.
joining with us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.